I wanted to update the membership on American's recent letter that came out last Friday. Apparently, the company's trying to, again, spin the story to try and find a way to get favor from the membership. Let me start by the fact that they talk about the TW International Convention in September in Las Vegas. I personally offered for us to negotiate in Las Vegas. That position was taken at the table during the last section. Jerry Glass rejected it. Again, we offered to negotiate while the convention was happening in Las Vegas, and that's a requirement under law. And Jerry Glass rejected it, not the union. So again, I'm getting a little bit tired of these stories that they like to spin to blame the union that we're not willing to negotiate. We're willing to negotiate whenever Jerry Glass and his team are available to negotiate. And we said that before, and I'll say it again. Anywhere, anytime, let's get this deal done. Now on to their letter. I want to talk about a few things in their letter that aren't exactly true as well. I have to look down, I apologize, but I want to make sure I hit on all of them. Giving you the highest pay rates in the industry, or giving us the highest pay rates in the industry. The hourly wage rate that we receive doesn't determine how much we take home in our pockets at the end of the week, end of the month, or end of the year. The fact that there's costs taken back out of our hourly wage rate are what determine how much we take home. And the simple fact here is, again, you can put on the table the highest wage rate, but what comes in the left hand and what comes out in the right hand is what matters to our membership. And I guess they think we're very simple people because most of us know math very well. Some of us have studied it. And I can tell you this, what's on the table is not industry leading. In fact, it falls far short of industry leading. The second point that they make is the contribution to the 401k plan. It's not the richest in the airline industry. It's the richest when they want to compare it to certain carriers. They pick and choose when and where they want to apply the industry's best. And the industry, the last time I checked, is the airline industry, not us on a comparator to a particular competitor that they choose to compare us to. So keep that in mind. And again, disgraceful that they want to go in and take away the IAM's pension plan. That's their pension plan. I respect that plan. Our membership respects the fact that the IAM has that pension plan. The bottom line is, again, the company wants to take something from one of the groups and use that to leverage it against the other group, and we're simply not going to leverage one against the other in these negotiations. We're going to stand as one, and we're going to fight for the best contract in the industry. And that includes the IAM membership maintaining their pension plan. The third piece that I want to talk to is the medical plans, the same as the other employees. We're not negotiating for the other work groups. Some of them went through binding arbitration. Some of them were forced into the contract, like the APFA. Don't forget, they didn't ratify their agreement. Their agreement was forced upon them through binding arbitration. And the medical plans that American has put on the table are insufficient. And the fact that they use terms like they can't, let me look up the word here. I want to make sure I get this right because I don't want them to say that, I wasn't factual. They're unsustainable or not sustainable is simply not true. Any plan is sustainable. It's the fact that the company is unwilling to provide plans that put more money into our members' left hands instead of taking it out of our members' right hands. So we're in a fight over medical. We're going to fight over this medical. And at the end of the day, this is going to become a global fight on medical because it's completely out of control. And the fact that the company uses forward-looking projections to determine how much we're going to pay in medical is preposterous. Now, I don't know where we'll end up on this particular subject, but I promise you this much. Wherever we land, going forward, if we don't get the greatest of medical here, and we determine that we have to bring something back to our membership because it's the right time to do that for a vote, I promise you we'll be looking at this in very great detail going forward. We're looking at it now, but the bottom line is I just don't know the answer on this one yet, and I wish I did. I wish I had a better answer on that, but we're still looking at ways to reduce medical, and certainly a company that's making billions can afford to reduce medical costs. They just proved that to us when they came in and did a 30% reduction in the core plan without batting an eye. Now on to the next subject. And I apologize, this video is long, but it needs to be a little bit longer. Keeping core maintenance work at American. I'm not sure what core maintenance work is. The last time I checked, these airlines went through bankruptcy and they robbed us of work that we previously owned. And now they're trying to use some term core maintenance as a basis for what we're going to do in the future. What we're going to do in the future is the work we currently do, and we're going to add to it. That's the agenda. And American certainly can afford that. And they need to come to the table and they need to negotiate terms and conditions that our members are willing to accept and willing to ratify. We're not going to wholesale out our Title II folks. We're not going to wholesale out line maintenance. We're not going to wholesale out base maintenance. They had their opportunity in bankruptcy. In fact, they had their opportunity in multiple bankruptcies to get this right. And it just proves that they haven't. And the fact of the matter is the best maintenance that we do is done in-house. Yeah, there's a cost to that. It's called a unionized workforce, but that cost is far superior in delivery and performance when compared to the outside vendors. We do so much work repairing what the vendors have screwed up, and then we pay for it on the backside based on the maintenance spend on the AA agreement. Most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. We send work out, they do a horrible job, you bring it back in, we spend days working on the airplanes that American paid to have repaired, and then on the backside they want to blame us for shoddy maintenance from these outsourced facilities. I'll tell you what, that's a fight we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to fight it outside of American Airlines. Because these outside vendors, especially outside the U.S., there's no controls over what they're doing. And anybody that says there is, for us in this aviation community, we all know better than that. The pilots know better, the flight attendants know better, and certainly the aircraft maintenance group knows better. I don't want to go too far into this other than to say I've put together a written answer as well to the company. That'll be coming out concurrent with this video. I hope you get a chance to read through it. It's a little bit more detailed. But let me say this. We're negotiating next week in Washington. I mean tomorrow, next week. We're also negotiating the week of September 11th in Dallas. There's other weeks on the table. And the 2 weeks that we're at the TW International Convention, the company, not the union, the company said no to negotiations. I thank you for your time. I appreciate you watching this video. I know it was lengthy. And there'll be more to come. Thank you.